But for myself, I did have an experience that I narrated my own story at some point. It was probably one of my earlier videos.
Cool.
But it was pretty minor. I mean, it was when I was a teenager. Um, I was living at my parents' house, and I was out in the backyard. That my dad made this deck on the backyard, really nice kind of deck, and they had glass sliding doors to get into the house. And
Sure.
I, was very imaginative kind of kid, which I obviously still am, but I was out there kind of dancing by myself. Why, I don't know. I just was.
Yeah.
It was at night.
No
Hey.
harm.
I was at night, and everyone was asleep, and I was on the back deck dancing around. Why? I can't explain it. I was
That's
probably
charming.
around like 15 or 16. And I suddenly noticed that there were, like, in the reflection of the glass doors, I could see what looked like a bunch of fairies dancing behind me, like in a row, as if,
Oh, I think
and
I heard this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they looked like they were having a great time.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and I
Oh,
spun around, and there was nothing there, and I was kind of like, did I imagine that? Because, like, I thought that I saw, and like I could see my reflection, the whole time in the glass, but
Hmm.
just this one moment I saw these beings behind me, and I was like, like, did I imagine that? And
this
I really
sounds
don't know. It's just
this
weird.
sounds like some legend I've heard before
Oh yeah.
of like reflections through the water and stuff like that,
Hmm.
waterfalls, because these things are prevalent in some, particularly the folklore of the British Isles with their stories of fairies and
Mm-hmm.
elves and everything. A lot of the
Water
things that
nymphs.
Tolkien pulled from for Lord of the Rings. So,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
sounds familiar, like like the vampire doesn't show a reflection, but other things, it's almost like mirrors or glass can kind of almost show you into another realm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you freak
Yeah, it's
out?
like, no, I didn't. And partly because I have an extremely vivid, intense imagination, so I never trust that if I see something like that, that I didn't just imagine it.
Hmm.
I always have enough doubt because of my imagination that I'm able to dismiss it. So I was like, oh, I probably just imagined it, but it stayed with me, you know,
Yeah.
and
I can
unlike
imagine.
other things, yeah, unlike other things that I've imagined, that one stayed with me. So I don't know, and it's still a question mark. Did I imagine that? I don't know.